Welcome, everyone. Today we're diving into the fascinating history of a small, resilient town that faced extreme adversity nearly 150 years ago.
Absolutely. It's a tale of community and survival. So let's start with the early days. Holland in Michigan was a promising young town, right?
Exactly. By 1871, just 24 years after its founding by Dutch settlers, Holland was growing fast. The town had churches, schools, shops, and homes, mostly built from wood. It was nestled amidst dense forests, which gave it a quaint yet wild charm.
Right. That rustic feeling combined with that vibrant energy of new beginnings. Though the use of wood in construction seems like a planned recipe for disaster in a forested area.
Oh, for sure. And that's where the environmental factors come into play. The summer and early fall of 1871 were unusually dry.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
A severe drought had the Midwest in its grip, drying up vegetation and timber.
And then you had those high winds and unseasonably warm temperatures, which really set the perfect stage for what was to come.
Absolutely. Think about it. A wooden town in the midst of dense forests, coupled with a drought and fierce winds. It's like the perfect storm waiting to happen.
Yeah. And speaking of storms, let's jump to October 9th, 1871. That night seems to have been a turning point.
Right. On that fateful night, around the same time as some infamous fires in Chicago and Peshtigo, a fire erupted near the outskirts of Holland, specifically near 16th Street in the
Exactly,
woods.
yeah. It must have been terrifying to see a blaze start so suddenly, especially with no formal fire department in town.
Instead of a fire department, the residents relied on volunteer bucket brigades. Imagine trying to fend off a massive fire with buckets and sheer willpower. The strong winds just fanned the flames, and within minutes, the blaze leaped from building to building.
It's like nature itself was collaborating in this chaos, turning a small spark into an unstoppable inferno.
Spot on. And the scale of destruction was overwhelming. Over 80% of the town was reduced to ashes. Nearly 250 buildings, including homes, stores, sawmills, churches, and schools, were lost. Even Holland's very first church, built by Reverend Van Raalte, was engulfed by the flames.
It's astounding. Yet somehow, amidst all that devastation, only one death was recorded. How do you think that happened?
Well, it's a testament to the folks' quick thinking and community spirit. Even though hundreds were left homeless, many people took refuge. Some fled into the dense woods, others into Lake Makatawa.
Yeah, that's impressive. It almost seems paradoxical, doesn't it? The fire was so ferocious, yet the coordinated effort saved nearly everyone.
Exactly. And it's really a prime example of human resilience. Although there was massive physical loss, the spirit of the community shone through in the face of disaster.
Now I'm curious about the rebuilding efforts. How did the town manage to bounce back so quickly?
Great question. Despite the devastation, the Dutch-American community immediately rallied together. Aid arrived from nearby towns and even from the Netherlands. You could say they were determined to rise from the ashes.
Right. And this time they learned from the tragedy. No more wood everywhere, right?
Right again. This time, they switched to using brick instead of wood. It was a pivotal change. Brick construction offered much better protection against fires.
That makes a lot of sense. It really highlights how disasters can change building codes and community practices.
Exactly. Fire prevention became a top priority. And within a year, many of the buildings had been replaced. The spirit of determination and unity really refueled the town's growth and resilience.
Absolutely. So essentially, Holland didn't just rebuild. It transformed itself to be even stronger than before.
Precisely. That's what makes the town's history so remarkable. It's a story of amazing loss, but even more so, of immense survival, courage, and rebirth.
You know, it's almost unrealistic, to experience nearly complete destruction and have the guts to rebuild with such determination.
Yeah, it is almost like a real-life phoenix rising from the ashes. I mean, when you look at it, it's a perfect metaphor for resilience.
Absolutely. But if I'm honest, I kind of wonder if rebuilding with brick was more about practicality or a deeper lesson about changing mindsets.
That's a valid point. I think it's both. On one side, it was practical. Bricks simply don't burn like wood. But on the other, it was a symbolic shift, a commitment to safety and modernization. moving away from old methods that had, well, almost cost them everything.
Yeah, totally agree. It's fascinating how such a tragedy forces a community to adapt and improve for the long run.
Exactly. And while the fire itself was a catastrophic event, it set the stage for the town's evolution. There's a legacy there that remains with Holland to this day, a reminder of loss, but more importantly, of renewal and togetherness.
It's a powerful legacy. When you hear stories like these, it really makes you think about how adversity can build stronger communities.
Totally. And historically, it helped define the town's identity. Even nearly a century and a half later, the Great Holland Fire is a defining chapter in the city's narrative.
Yes. I guess it shows that while the flames can destroy buildings, they can't kill the will to rebuild and transform.
Exactly. And it teaches us an important lesson about how communities can learn from past mistakes. It's like you look at the remnants of the old Holland and, you see what wasn't working then, and now you see the desire to create something enduring.
Right on, for sure. I have to say, it's really impressive how they managed not only to salvage their lives, but also to reimagine their town structurally and culturally after such a blow.
Indeed. And it's a perfect reminder that progress often comes with painful lessons, but those lessons can lead to innovation and strength.
Absolutely, no doubt about that. Sometimes I wonder if our modern cities have learned those same lessons. With our high-tech approaches today, could there be something lost in not feeling that, raw necessity for change?
That's a thoughtful critique. In many ways, modern developments prioritize safety and efficiency, but sometimes they lose that gritty story of human determination. There's value in remembering a time when every brick laid was a testament to collective resolve.
Exactly. And perhaps that story inspires other communities to face challenges head-on, rather than building safe enclaves that might lack that pioneering spirit.
Precisely. Holland's legacy isn't just about the fire. It's about the courage to start over, to create something even better out of ruin. It's a narrative of rebirth that resonates even today.
Well said. This conversation really brings home how deeply history can teach us resilience and adaptability. It's a story that not only informs, but inspires.
Indeed. And it's amazing to think that in the face of such unimaginable loss, the community stood strong and rebuilt with determination and unity, a legacy that continues to define Holland to this day.
Absolutely, and it's a humbling reminder for all of us that no crisis is insurmountable when a community works together.
Well, that wraps up our deep dive into this remarkable piece of history. Thanks for joining in on this conversation. There's so much to reflect on from Holland's journey from devastation to rebirth.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. It's been an insightful and truly engaging discussion. Let's carry that spirit of resilience forward.